welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a very exciting video, the top 10 goalies right now. Now, goalies are one of the most subjective positions to rank, and my list is completely different from anyone else's list that I've ever seen. So, I'm really excited to share my take. Let's get into it. This is Deke, Geeks. Starting off list number 10, we have Marc-Andre Fleury. Now, Fleury is actually going to be the backup goalie for the Golden Knights this year. And last year, not the best year, 905 save percentage, 277 goals against average. But the skill is there because the years before that, 913 save percentage, 927 save percentage. So I know how good that Marc-Andre Fleury can be. Obviously, he made top 3 save of the year this year. And honestly, as a backup there, which he wasn't last season, I think he can actually really excel playing less games. And I think skill-wise and stat-wise over the past few years, also in the playoffs, Marc-Andre Fleury definitely deserves a spot on this list. Coming at number 9 is Darcy Kuemper, the Arizona Coyotes starter. And this is actually a very interesting player because early in his career wasn't very good. Really came into his own these past 2 seasons. This season put up a 928 save percentage, 222 goals against average. Just really excelled as a starter. But sadly, he was looking towards the Vezina, but sadly his season got cut short by injury. Honestly, he could have won the Vezina if he'd stayed healthy. But in this very talented list of goaltenders, just a little blip like getting injured really bumps you down this list. So he's coming at number 9. Coming in with the number 8 spot on the list, it's John Gibson. Now, John Gibson had a rough year, but the years before that, 917, 926 save percentages, 284 and 248 goals against average. Obviously, carrying that horrible Anaheim team. And John Gibson, he is one of my top bounce-back candidates for next year because I just believe he's that good and he can carry Anaheim that much. Coming in at number 7 is Boston Bruins goaltender Tuukka Rask, and was absolutely fantastic number-wise last season. It's all about the numbers for him. 929 save percentage, but it was only in 41 games. Also, this year in the playoffs, wasn't there. He didn't play, and historically, he hasn't had that level of production that he did this year. I don't think he will moving on. And he was playing on an amazing team. So those are kind of the reasons why he's lower down the list at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is Ben Bishop. Ben Bishop is a fantastic goaltender. He's been pretty consistent over the past few years, but had a good playoffs. But I'm just not really sure how well his numbers are going to translate into next year and the years afterwards. Also, he's been playing around behind a very good defense in Dallas. So with that, he's just coming at number 6. Coming in at number 5 is the St. Louis Blues goaltender, Jordan Binnington. Now, some of you might say this is too high for Binnington, but just hear me out. Last year, or in 2018-19, Jordan Binnington, for the second half of the season, for the whole half of the season, was undoubtedly the best goalie in the league. He was so good. Literally took St. Louis from last place to first place. And he wasn't my Hart Trophy pick, but it kind of like would have made sense because that's how much value he brought. And then in the playoffs, obviously he continued his dominance, had historic playoffs, led St. Louis to the Stanley Cup, should have won the Conn Smythe. And to be that great for like a half of the year plus playoffs, and then come in this year and prove it wasn't a fluke with a 912 save percentage. Honestly, I know he had a rough playoff series, but I think overall his body of work in the NHL has been a top 5 goaltender. Coming in at number 4 is Connor Hellebuyck. He rightfully won the Vezina this year. He came in clutch for the Jets after they lost a huge part of their blue line. And he did carry that team. So the regular season was fantastic for Hellebuyck. Years before that, he wasn't quite that good. And also this playoffs, he really could not propel Winnipeg past that first qualifying round. So just the 3 goalies that are ahead of him are just so good that he has to come in at number 4. Coming in number 3 for me is a lot of people's number 1, and that's Andrei Vasilevskiy of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Vasilevskiy, for him, it's all about the wins and the consistency. He hasn't been very consistent, and he's gotten a lot of wins. Obviously, he hasn't been playing on Tampa, so you got to take those wins with a grain of salt. Also, he played fantastic in the playoffs this year, guiding Tampa to the Stanley Cup. But his stats haven't been, really top tier, even though he is top tier, because of the wins and the playoff performance. So at number 2, I have Montreal Canadiens goaltender Carey Price. And Carey Price is someone that I haven't seen up at the top of the list anymore. People think he might be kind of fading off. But Carey Price, eye test-wise, if you're just watching them, he is undoubtedly, for me, the best goalie in the league. Eye test-wise, I think he's just so smart. He just plays such good goaltender. Faced some of the most shots and some of the most saves, and led the league in games played. And then this playoffs was so good against Pittsburgh. And then Philadelphia, he carried them on. That should not have been a 6-game series. But Carey Price made it so. 5 games with Pittsburgh, Carey Price played so good. And if you watch those games, you would see how amazing this guy really is. So that, for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 2 for me. Coming in as the number 1 goalie in the league is Robin Lehner for me. You might think I'm crazy, but just hear me out. Robin Lehner has been so good. Eye test-wise, he's easily a top 3 goalie in the league. And Robin Lehner, he's so underrated that it's actually insane. In 2018-19, came onto the New York Islanders and had a Vezina-level season. I think with a .928 save percentage. He definitely should have won the Vezina over Vasilevskiy. And that's part of the reason why I put Robin Lehner over Vasilevskiy, is because if Robin Lehner wins that Vezina over Vasilevskiy, what are people really looking at this debate the same way? And then he comes out this year, .918 save percentage, 301 goals against average, not looking like the best stats, but when you see how bad of a team and defense Chicago really was, it makes sense that he had those statistics, which a .918 save percentage is fantastic, and it would have been higher on a better team. And same thing, obviously, with his goals against average. Came in with Vegas, had 3 amazing games, but not going to take those too seriously. And then this playoffs was also absolutely amazing. Made one of the top 3 saves of the year. Carried Vegas all the way to the conference finals. Well, they didn't carry him, but he played very well for them all the way to the conference finals. So Robin Lehner, for those reasons, is coming in at number 1. So if you've made it to this part in the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit like, hit subscribe, and go check out my other videos. Recently, I've been dropping some bangers like my top 10 defensemen. So if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. This was Deke Geeks. Goodbye.